Good morning, dear students. We are discussing the various plant tissues and we have begun with the meristematic tissue. We have already discussed the characters and the functions of the meristematic tissues and also the types. Now let us discuss the features of the types of meristematic tissues. So on the basis of their position, there are three types of meristem. Apical meristems are present at the growing tip of stems and roots, thus are helpful in increasing the length of the stem and the roots. It acts as promeristem, having actively dividing cells, giving rise to other meristem cells. This is how the apical meristem looks. If you observe the topmost part of any plant, you will see that the tip of the plant shows a small bud. It does not show any differentiation. That part is the apical meristem. If you observe this, I am holding the tip of a plant. If you see, there are small growing leaves over here. If you try to open this part, the inside has not yet got differentiated. There is the meristematic cells. Here is another tip of the plant. So, the apical meristem gives the plant body a linear growth. Here is this cells which you are seeing is the accumulation of the meristematic cell. I showed you in the plant itself. Now talking of the intercalary meristem, they are present at the base of the leaves or internodes on either side of the nodes of twigs. It helps in longitudinal growth, that is elongation of the plant. So these cells, they will grow to increase the length of the stem of the leaf of the plant. The upward bending of shoots is due to the activity of the intercalary meristem. The lateral meristem occurs on both sides of the stem and the root. Lateral meristem can be vascular meristem or cork cambium. The vascular cambium protects the cork cells, whereas lateral meristem increases in the girth of the stem and root. So the lateral meristem will help you increase the size of this, girth of this or diameter of the stem or the root. And there is one more type of meristem which is known as the cork cambium, which if you have seen the trunks of the tree, they are so huge, they help in increasing the size of the trunk of the trees. You don't have to study about that. You just have to study about these three types of meristem: apical meristem, intercalary meristem and lateral meristem. Apical meristem helps in increasing the number of cells or the apical growth of the plant. Intercalary meristem is present near the node at the base of the leaf. It helps in increasing the size of the stem or the root or the leaf, and the lateral meristem helps in increasing the girth, that is the diameter of the stem or the root. So these are the various types of meristematic tissues. Now the other type of plant tissue is the permanent tissues. Let's discuss about the permanent tissues. The permanent tissue arises from meristematic tissue. The cells of this tissue gradually lose their power to divide and acquire a definite shape, size and function. If you recall the apical meristem, all the cells were of same type. Now which cell will form the covering of the stem or the inner part of the stem or the part of the stem that would conduct water or it would give rise to a leaf is not known. The permanent tissues decide which type of cells they would form. So the permanent tissues are the plant tissues where the cells have lost the ability to divide, and have assumed a permanent shape, size, and function. They are derived from the meristematic cells. The process of taking up of a definite shape, size, and structure and function is called differentiation. So what is differentiation? What a particular cell, a particular, if you see the tip of the stem, there is no differentiation here. This is just a mass of cells. Now if you observe the cells over here, some have got differentiated, that okay, these cells will give rise to this leaf, and this is known as differentiation. The process to take up different shape, size, function, and structure by a cell is known as differentiation. Now, different types of permanent tissues are formed due to differences in their specialization. Some would form leaves, some would form the stem, some would form the vascular system. So, the permanent tissue may be simple, complex, or special. Their cells may be living or dead, thin-walled or thick-walled. Thickening may be regular or irregular. So there are certain characteristics of the permanent tissue. The shape and size, characteristics of permanent tissues. You may note down these points. Cells have attained a definite shape, size, which do not alter afterwards. Permanent cells come to have specific functions. They can have thick or thin walls. The thickening may be regular or irregular. Permanent cells normally do not divide. Permanent cells can be living or dead. Permanent tissues can be simple permanent tissue or complex. Simple permanent tissues can be parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, and permanent tissues would be xylem and phloem.